Hi everyone. Better late than never, I guess. Um, so thinking about my critical incident for this video recording, um, I actually thought of the time last year, so it wasn't a long time ago. Last year I was teaching English 101 through the local community college at the high school. So I had experience teaching at the college level at this community college, but we also offer it in our school building. Um, so these students are, you know, I guess they typically consider them the good kids. They high academic achieving, well behaved, super respectful, but also really intelligent and challenging the world around them, which is something that I think is absolutely what I want my students to do. But we are going over some grammar, um, and we were going over, um, like singular and plural pronouns. Like when they're saying people, someone went to the store and they bought 5 items. How that's incorrect grammatically because it should be he or she. So I have this little grammar book, and we're going over a little bit of grammar, which isn't the most fun thing in the world. And I'm saying that singular pronouns have to be with singular subjects, and then plural and plural. And long story short, I knew a young woman in my class identified as a lesbian. Um, and she had kind of been out, and as we're going over it, she says, "Well, no, miss, you can use they for a singular." And in front of the whole class. And without thinking, I was like, "No, you can't. That's not true." When she was right. And um, it wasn't pretty because I was trying not to confuse the other students in the class. But I didn't want to discriminate against her, but I had to maintain a certain grammar rule. And so, all in that moment, by the end of the whole thing, I had essentially um, disrespected her, went against what my moral code is about, people and their diversity and gender fluidity and gender identities, etc. And she went away feeling from that conversation, in my opinion, like she wasn't safe in the classroom. So it really made me think then um more about the content that we teach and why we teach it and what our rules are that include and then don't include. So when I really think about like curriculum, who are we including, who are we excluding? What are we saying versus what are we not saying? So in that situation, I went to a good mentor of mine who is very much out. Everybody knows that she's gay. Everybody knows, and so she's been a mentor of mine, a good friend of mine in the building. And I went to her and I had said how distraught I was about making this young woman feel uncomfortable in my classroom, and that I had, disrespected her, and that I had, trying to stick with like the rules of grammar and the rules of education. Um, and so yeah, I went to her and I said, I'm not really coming to you because you identify as gay, but I might be here, also because you identify as gay. And please help me through like what I did and um, how do I go about making this student feel safe in my classroom again? Because, even the grammar that I told her is what we use excludes her. And so, um, my mentor had said, you just apologize. You just got to have a genuine "I'm sorry," and of course you don't say, "I didn't mean to offend you." And so I really had to work through that, because I knew who I was on the inside, and I knew how I view people, and I knew what was right and wrong in my own, moral and ethical code. So this incident really just made me think more and more about who we include, who we exclude in our educational environment. And it also helped me grasp, like, when I'm teaching things, how am I teaching them, and what am I really afraid of? Why did I not want to lose control in that moment, when it would have been a great opportunity to teach something even greater and better? So that is my critical incident. easy one for me to come up with, but definitely one that challenged me in the moment.